just go and have fun at the con. Don't expect anything, and just assume you won't sell a damn thing, and then sit back and relax, and everything will just fly off the shelves.
Mhm.
That's one of the things too we need to discuss as a topic. We don't have to do it today, but just also pricing, like knowing what you're worth. And because Tim was like, "How much are you going to price these things for?" And I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know what to do right now."
Well, let's see. How big are your larger pieces?
My biggest piece, I believe, is like 16 by 24. So they're not huge.
Okay. Well, keep in mind that most artists, when they're working professionally, they need to be averaging anywhere between 60 to $200 an hour when they're working.
Right.
So when you're selling an original print, do not hesitate to put it up higher. I mean, sure, make sure you have a photo of it before you let it go. And yeah, you may talk yourself down into saying you're just a starting artist, but honestly, if someone was charging $300 for a painting back in the 70s, you should feel no qualms about charging $300 for a painting today.
Right. Yeah, and that is one of the things I definitely think I've actually said that exact thing to myself. Well, you're starting artist, like what can you expect for yourself? Because you're new to the game and you're just learning style.
No, don't undersell yourself. The market is what the market is, and you just have to discover what the market is. The fact is, someone who's going to buy your painting will easily buy it for 300 as well as they'll buy it for 100.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay,
yeah,
they're either going to want it or they're going to pass on it. The price really has nothing to do with when someone's buying art. It will hit them or it won't hit them. So you might as well ask for the maximum amount. And even then, because you're starting out, what you think is a maximum amount is not anywhere near what the maximum amount really is. So don't fret like you're not going to get maximum value. And if it makes you happy to sell a painting for less, fine, but don't give them away. I mean, you gotta cover your, hopefully cover your expenses.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why I don't sell originals. I just sell prints.
Right.
Because I don't think my originals will go. You've seen Mark Brill's stuff, haven't you?
I'm not sure.
He has sort of like this xenomorph, sort of like in an Edwardian dress having a cup of tea. And he put a $700 price tag on that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was nicely framed. And I said, "You're not charging enough for that." He says, "Well, I haven't sold it." I said, "When you do sell it for 700, you're going to be saying that you didn't charge enough for it." It took him a year to sell it, but he sold it. But it was a fairly big painting. He had a big thrift shop painting that was about 4 feet tall that he painted Godzilla coming ashore on.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And he didn't do the background painting. He just did the Godzilla part. And I told him, "I am going to slap you silly if you sell this thing for anything less than $500. Within 18 months, he sold it for $500.
Okay.
It was just going with a bunch of other paintings at various coffee shops around town. Because, I don't even know how to convince you that your artwork will sell. It's so hard to convince people when they don't value their own work. It will sell. And the fact is that everybody knows you're not charging enough for your work. So.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I am taking a bunch of prints too, so that's helpful. I've learned a lot with these new acrylics I've been doing, and just figuring, of course, with the handy help of my husband, having the patience to learn Photoshop because I don't want to. Um, he has helped me be able to create the prints a lot easier than if I had to try to learn Photoshop on top of everything else I'm trying to learn. So that was really helpful. But yeah, he's actually been printing today. Because I'm asking him to help me, so we're working on his time, and we're not flying out till 5 o'clock tomorrow night. So he still has plenty of time, right?
Right. Well, I
Um,
would say definitely take prints of the work that you are going to be selling there at a higher price tag, because people will look at that, will want it, and if they see a print that's more affordable, they'll buy that instead.
yeah, and that you had told me that before, so that was one of the things we anticipated. Um, I'm not taking more tarot cards, which is kind of disappointing, but I I spent a lot more time learning acrylic this year than refining my digital skills, and almost all of my tarot cards are digital. So I, I appreciate the digital, but I really like traditional medium. But I mean, that might be my age too. But I feel like learning this too is going to help me. It'll help me in the end when I become more proficient in digital art. But yeah, we're talking all about me. You haven't even done the intro yet.
Oh, welcome everyone to Epic Sketch Time. Epic Sketch Time is a weekly drawing group where we just sit around and talk about drawing, and sometimes we talk about freelancing. Sometimes we don't talk about anything. And sometimes we talk about the right way to say Thanos or Thanos.
I'd always done it with the soft A, but
anyway, people, I have since last week. Take a look at this.
ooh,
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, no more missing tooth. So finally, after 10 months of feeling like I was a Jethro and covering my mouth like this when we were talking, and turning my light face like this when I go ha 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 ha, I feel very comfortable smiling again. Had a nice family reunion, or rather get together with my niece this last weekend.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I just spent the last hour going into my Patreon and posting in. This happens all the time. I post a bunch of stuff on my Patreon page and program it in to feed in for the next month. And then well past that point, I forget that I need to update my Patreon page. So Bill, thank you for hanging in there. I know you're one of my Patreons. So you'll start getting some stuff tomorrow, even some movie reviews.
cool.
So I figured, now I'll do Stickman on the weekdays and the Comic Critic on the weekends. I need to start pumping that out more. So
Yeah, what's on your queue at the moment? It's funny because every time you always surprise me, because there's a few ones where I'm convinced you must have done that one by now, and then surprised when it comes up brand new.
actually, I don't have a new movie. I haven't drawn a new movie review for a while because I have so many in the can. I'm trying to force myself to do like the covers of. I'm trying to decide which. I have content for at least 3 books and half the content for a 4th book.
Okay.
So the 3 books that I have content for are I Watch Dead People, B movies, and let's see.
You were talking about the one where the movie creates the cultural.
Oh yeah, pop culture DNA, and I'm trying to figure. I know that the next one I'm going to put out is going to be the B movies, because that's going to be what's going to be the most popular thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I got a fourth book called Nothing But Noir, where I really love watching noir movies. So I'm kind of going in and picking which ones to add and watch for that. I just watched a noir film called Too Late for Tears. And this book, there's a book out there called Dark City, which is one of the best books on noir. And the guy who was writing the book was asked, telling his friends that he was writing this book this many years ago. And one of his friends says, well, then you should see if you can find this movie, Nothing Too Late for Tears. And he tried to find it and he couldn't find it. Now it had gone into the public domain, and once a movie goes in the public domain, nobody really has any impetus to save that movie. And what happens is things like that get chopped up and rearranged or incomplete, or their quality goes away. But after he completed the first run of the book, Dark City, it took off and became a big hit. He started making a bunch of money off of it. He started up a foundation to find noir films and to save them and remaster them. And they found 3 different versions of Nothing But Tears. Too Late for Tears. I keep saying Nothing But Tears. Sorry about that. Too Late for Tears. And they found a 16 millimeter version, an 8 millimeter version, and another version. And they took the best scenes from each one of those to do a restoration, which you can watch right now on Canopy, which is the library service for streaming, if you don't know about it.
Okay.
That's Canopy with a K. And so you can just sign in it with using your credit card. And I think you'll be streaming there for a couple more, for at least a few more months.
So while I'm sure you've got more than enough of the traditional film noirs to fill that thing up, are you going to broaden the definition to keep things interesting? For example, you already mentioned Dark City, Blade Runner, the few.
No, I'm really going to stick to the older noir stuff. I mean, if a really great modern noir movie is Brick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Brick, Katie?
I haven't, but Tim has, and he always talks about what a great noir movie it is.
That matter, some of the new waivers doing noir. I mean, the one that's sticking in my head, and here I am blanking on the name, something Elevator, but what's good about it is it's Miles Davis did the soundtrack.
What's nice about Brick is that it uses all the vernacular, all the slang, but it's done in a modern high school setting.
Ooh.
And
yeah.
The title Brick is all about this brick of cocaine that goes missing at the high school. And there's a death of a student, and so everybody's coming to this one student who's like a key suspect, because the girl who got killed used to be his girlfriend. And it is a ride and a half. Now, what I like about Too Late for Tears is that it's from the female protagonist's point of view. And it passes the Bechdel test.
Nice.
Because the female protagonist, she's married to this guy, and his sister lives across from them in the apartment building. But here's a question to you. I don't know how many of you guys have siblings, but how would you feel if your sibling lived across from you in the apartment building? Bill, I know you've got sisters.
Yeah, I don't think my siblings would like that.
we get on our we get on each other's nerves even when we're only calling each other on our birthdays.
Whereas my family, we've always been very tight, but we do, and we like being around each other. But I'm wondering if maybe part of that is most of us live in different cities.
Mhm.
Probably. Sorry to say, but that may be true. Um, yeah, yeah. No, I love my siblings too. We have everybody has a larger than life personality in my family. So you get all of that in one room, and it's a lot. It's a lot for anybody. But yeah, I wouldn't want to live across the from either of my siblings in an apartment building for sure. But
So,
anyway, so that's part of the plot, right?
right. So I have something else show and tellish I want to show you guys. These were given to me earlier this month. And since we're talking about movies, we have this is from what year did this one come out? Looking to see if I can find the publication date on the inside sleeve. Why can't I find it? It's I think it's from 1941.
Ooh.
Actually,
Oh.
this is pre-war, and it is the motion picture guide. Now, what's interesting, it says down here, why girls can't resist Jimmy Stewart. But the guy, you would think this would be Jimmy Stewart on the cover, but it's not. The person on the cover is Robert Taylor, and it says so in little 12-point type here. So why mention Jimmy Stewart, but you put Robert? This is not good magazine design.
Yeah.
The
But-
only way I could see it would be good is, misleading, because I saw a book cover where the actual writer of the book made the quote from the writer so big that it looked like that was the person who wrote the book. So might be a switcheroo. Anyway, sorry.
So I was reading through this thing, and there's an article in here where they're talking about David Niven going back to England and to be in the war effort. And they're all saying, "Oh, it's just a ploy by him and his agent for him to make more money. He's not going to join the war effort. That's insane. Who would obviously go and be part of the war?" But that's what he did. But back then, that was this point. Let's see. Talk of Hollywood. Let's see what it says here. Neatest figure of speech of the month is the one Dot Kilgallen pulled when she wrote "As Rare as a Frown on Don Amici." Okay, I don't think that really caught on. Let's see, here's a good deed. Interesting gesture, that move of Harry Ritz's. In the midst of his sorrow over the death of his lovely wife, Harry remembered enough to give her entire wardrobe to that social organization for charity. Okay, this is some major gossip. I don't even know whose Harry's wife's was, but I can already tell by that organization they're talking about something spicy. Anyway, and here's another one. This is from, I think it's from January of 1941 as well. It's photo play with Norma Shear on the cover.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's really hilarious when they're talking interviewing like Mickey Rooney, saying that he's going to grow up now that he's he's 28. So-
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my frame of reference for Mickey Rooney is he was always an old man, but that's not true, right? Like that.
No, he was generally paired with Dorothy. Darn, what's an
Judy
you're,
Garland.
you're working your way there, Bill.
Sorry.
You're almost there. You got to the Wizard of Oz. Keep going. Yeah.
Judy Garland? Yes.
There we go. Yeah, I knew you'd get there.
Well, I've got. If we're doing more show and tell, I got some good stuff.
Okay, let's see what you have.
Well, as several people may know, the May challenge Mermaid is coming up, and because it's good Patreon fodder, I got an early start of it, and so
nice. Oh, I saw that one on your Patreon.
And oops.
Oh, there we go. Ooh. Oh yeah. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I've generally been doing it as a way of getting my watercolor push-ups in, but I started getting an early start on keeping up my watercolors this year, so they're starting out good. And the other thing, do we have screen share set, Mark?
No, we don't. Just a moment. There we go.
Well, if you may recall, a couple of weeks ago, I was showing off this new 3D modeling software I bought for iPad. And I am finally totally getting the hang of it. Once I realized I didn't have to do heads and started doing props with it. So here is work in progress, the Iron Throne.
Oh wow.
And here's the first one that I finished completely. Actually,
one of the dragon skulls.
Yeah. Actually, you may have seen this one on my Instagram feed.
No, it's the first time I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. And then a few background sets. For Mermaid, here is a mermaid's kitchenette I've been working on. And I'm pretty sure I showed you all the bunk bed. But if I hadn't.
Yes, you showed the bunk bed last time.
Okay. But at the same time.
Well, it looks like you're having fun with the modeling software.
Yeah, no, I have plans on, most of my planning for it is to use it for making props and bits to go into, and also as references. And here's how the bunk bed has been useful already.
I thought that would be kind of cute if you had some mermaids sleeping inside sea anemones like they were big over fluffy duvets.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally found the article on Mickey Rooney. How long will Mickey Rooney last?
My God.
So that's
And then what year was this published?
I'm trying to see what year this is. I'm pretty sure this was a few months before Pearl Harbor. Oh, this is a February 1940, so 2 years before we entered the war.
Wow. When did Mickey Rooney die? Because I remember him.
Mickey Rooney died within the last 10 years, I think.
Late 80s, I thought.
No, he
Yeah.
lasted longer than that.
Okay, that was the last thing I saw him in. I remember him. The last thing I remember him in was this one of those Christmas movies where he was sent back to Earth after dying to track. I think it was tracking down Santa Claus, or it might have been someone else, some sort of celestial figure who had gone AWOL.
Let's see. Oh, geez, he's been dead longer than I thought.
So I was right about the late 80s.
No, he died in 2014.
Oh,
Wait a minute. I said the last 10 years, didn't I?
yes.
Yes.
So right on the edge there. His last film was done he played Grandpa in Holy Hollywood, which came out in 2020. What? How can you die and have something come out years? Oh, that happens all the time, I suppose. Let's see. He was one of his last things was in American Dad.
That was a sitcom, wasn't it?
American Dad is a TV animated series. He starred as a short producer in A Star is Reborn. Let's see. Oh, Night of the Museum, Secret of the Museum. He played a guy named Gus. But apparently there's a movie that came out. Oh, it must be a documentary type thing. No, called Holy Hollywood, came out in 2021, has Mickey Rooney in it. Maybe maybe one of his film clips was in it, because if you have a film clip from another movie, you're counted as being in that movie. Let's see. But yeah, he was keeping himself active. Did, it looks like 3 movies as late as 2011, 3 movies in 2012, a movie in 2014, the TV show, and then Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde in 2017. But I don't know if that's, again, a clip that came out, or maybe that movie just took a while to get released.
I don't think I've heard of that one unless I'm getting it mixed up with Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
But yeah, let's see, when did he start in films? He was extremely young when he started.
Well, as far as him teaming up with Judy Garland, I think those were even before Wizard of Oz, so 38 or at least at most.
Well, he did a bunch of shorts when he was an even smaller kid, with a little character kid known as Mickey McGuire. And so those shorts go all the way back to 1927. So yeah, let's see how old he was when he did those. Yeah, he was 7 years old when he started in the films. That's a long time in the movie, man. So I think
Mhm.
Yeah, the guy that wrote this article on David Niven called, his name was Craig Bunker. He writes, let's see. As a matter of fact, Davies flying off to London to face the British consul's olden advice that England much rather have him stay in Hollywood. Okay, he is completely talking his hat because they were really happy to have him because he's an experienced airman. So, jeez.
Very interesting the way that they write too. Everything's the way everything's written. It's very clipped and I don't know, almost like
There's a fair amount of snark in it. Some of it,
yeah.
some of it's pretty nice, and
Oh,
some of it is just, you know, wonderfully bland. And I wonder just how many of these writers, one of the things I did when I was working for, what was it called? The Bingo Bugle. And so I was doing all these caricatures of all the various writers for the Bingo Bugle. There were
Mhm.
only 3 writers for the Bingo Bugles, but they had like 18 people on staff. They just wanted to make it look like there's a lot of people. Now, what dog are you doing with curlers in his hair?
So actually, we're going, we're going to Texas. So I'm doing some last minute gifts for people because I'm a procrastinator. And so one of my friends loves Frida Kahlo. And you guys also know I'm not afraid to use influence from other artists. So her pit bull mix had a birthday picture done where she had on like this little crown for her birthday. So I'm taking that picture and I'm morphing it a little bit so that it looks like Frida Kahlo, and I'm gonna give her a little unibrow. She's gonna look cute. So it's gonna look like a Frida Kahlo self-portrait, but it's a pit bull. So yeah. That's why it's kind of the golden halo, and this is just all gonna be flowers. So yeah, I finished with the jack-o'-lantern because that's part of a three mask set. There are some hardcore Halloween 3 fans out there, and so well, and I like Halloween 3 myself, but so I'm gonna take that, and so now I'm just doing this as a gift. This is a person who has really supported my art, and just very cool person that, she supports a lot of people. They're originally from up here and they live in Texas, and we met them through some other people who were just like, hey, go check out so and so, they're going to be in Texas and you guys go to this convention. And so every year they stop by our booth, so I'm going to surprise her with this, especially since my process has gotten a lot quicker. Especially with animals. I'm able to do animals much quicker than I used to. So. Anyway.
I did a painting myself in acrylics on oils the other week.
Ooh. Are you going to show it to us?
I'm going to see if I can show it to you via my phone.
Is that the robot?
Okay.
Well, hold on. I've never tried to screen share to my phone before, but I'm going to try it. But yeah, it's the robot that I did. First I'm going to see if I can find the photo. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can screen share. Let's see. Oh, I need to go into I've never done this on my phone before, so give me a chance settings. Have you ever done it on your phone?
No, though it.
Where would the screen mirroring be on the phone?
I'm not sure.
You should be able to do it. I mean, here's the controls. So if
Oh, yeah, I should probably go to the controls. Well, how do you get to the controls on your phone, Bill?
swipe down,
Drag down?
like
I just get my notification center. Oh, I swiped over. No, that's yeah, when I swipe down, I get all my notification center stuff.
swipe from the front. Swipe. Do it from the top. Do it diagonally from the right corner.
Diagonally. Let's try that. Hang on.
Or sorry. Yeah, right corner.
No, whenever anything from the top down, any type of motion from the left corner or the right corner, I still get my notifications.
Hmm.
Let's see. I probably have it set up somewhere else. Let me try a different. I have it set up on the bottom left corner. So let's see. Here we go.
And did you press the screen share?
It says you're viewing Bill Morris's screen.
What?
I think you're still. It says.
It says that you started screen sharing.
Oh, hang on. Let me try this again. Screen share. iPhone, iPad. Come on. It's not recognizing my laptop.
Well,
Restart my device, it says. Well, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to try a real simple, just hold the picture up to the camera part.
okay.
So this is the painting.
Uh-huh.
And hang on, Bill. For some reason, only you're showing up on the screen. Okay. I'm talking. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
For some reason, it's Bill. Wonder why. But can you guys see this when I hold this up?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the robot. I'll try to go in really close.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
And this painting's huge. It's about the canvas is at least 3 feet by 2 feet. The robot itself was a good 12 inches across. So that was fun. I wonder if he ever sent me any money.
So
Not
you
the-
did that as a commission or?
Yeah, he knew I did things like that. It was for his little kid's birthday.
Oh, wow.
And it was a birthday gift. And I said, no, just if you feel like it, send me a PayPal notice or something on Venmo. But I don't know if he I'm going to check my Venmo, see if he sent me anything. I don't think I have my Venmo set up for notifications. Hmm. Oh, I mistyped it, my password. Well, I'm going to have to look that up. I can't seem to remember what my password is. Don't you hate that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, because I understand it's a security option, but considering it's probably one of the only passwords I have to type manually every single time.
Since I've been doing all my prep work for the last 2 days, I actually took vacation from work, which is funny because I texted with one of my coworkers and showed her my loft area where I work. I said, "Who goes on to vacation to do more work?" But this is my escape. But I've been watching Better Call Saul, because Tim has already. I don't know how we got out of sync, but he ended up watching all of it without me, except for the new season. So that's been my thing, playing in the background the whole time, that I've been working and on all of this, and just finishing up some of the smaller projects. And he's such a complex character.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and I were talking about that. Even he's even a different kind of complex character than Breaking Bad, because I don't know. It's like the longer you watch Breaking Bad, you really start to question, was Walter White actually ever a good person? Like, like he has some serious sociopathic tendencies. And that's kind of the same thing happening with Better Call Saul. Is like, is he a sociopath or is he someone like what personality disorder does this guy have that
I'm
he's
not. I, having never taken more than just one 101 psych course, I think sociopath probably isn't accurate, but
well, a sociopath is just anyone who compulsively uses anyone. Like a lot of people think of a sociopath as like being someone that will kill someone, but they're actually are just people that don't have any remorse for humanity. They don't necessarily have to kill anyone. I mean, people who are swindlers or, rob grandmas can be, and they have no remorse for doing it, can be a sociopath. Um, actually have a bachelor's in psychology. I don't know if it's worth anything, but
Well, it's more
Um,
than what I have.
yeah, it's
But-
more than what I know. I mean, I tried to stay informed. I took a 101 course because I thought it would be useful for writing, but
yeah, well, I've actually learned more about human behavior being a nurse than I ever learned studying psychology, but I didn't get my master's in it, so that's probably why. But yeah, he just or antisocial, like I don't know. It's so interesting to see how compelled he is to be a criminal, even
don't
when
know
he's
if
trying to do the right thing.
I don't know if antisocial works because considering other than with his brother, his people skills border on superhuman.
Yeah. Are you thinking more like avoidant personality? Like
I'm
when
not
you're
sure
thinking
if I'm not sure if I know the terminology well enough to answer that.
because like an avoidant personality is someone who doesn't have good social skills.
Mhm.
But antisocial is someone that doesn't like rules. Um, which is a little different than the sociopath because the sociopath can handle rules. They just don't really care how they apply, how the world applies to other people.
Yeah.
So, but
Like a good
it's almost like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
sorry, a great example. Have you watched the Mind Hunters on Netflix?
Yes.
My favorite scene in a show full of sociopaths and worse. My favorite example of sociopathy in there is where the what's her name, the psychiatrist, is having a conversation with the new director, and she's talking about sociopath. She's saying how her work involves sociopaths in business and high-ranking positions,
Yep.
and the camera lingers on the director's face for about 2 seconds too long, and as she suddenly goes silent, as you almost imagine with her internal dialogue going, "And I'm looking at one right now," and
Yep. Exactly. Yep. That is exactly it. Just no. But that's kind of sometimes people that are sociopathic can be handy, especially people who can not have the feelings needed to do difficult things, like even surgeons or even a pilot that has to fly a plane isn't thinking about all the people in the plane. They're thinking about flying the plane in their own survival. Because I can't remember. There was a lot of pop psychology research done in like the 70s, and I feel like Mindhunters is one of the actual FBI. How they glamorized it kind of had something to do with it as well. But there's just a lot of research on that was done in the 60s and 70s, almost to the point of glamorizing, these guys. But it's also fascinating because how many serial killers and those types have we had? I mean, in the past, like were there just people secretly killing people and nobody knew it as serial killers? Because it seems like it's something that didn't really get a lot of attention until like Jack the Ripper, right? Like
right.
There
Uh,
really wasn't any.
yeah, I mean, there were a few. I mean, there were a few particularly horrid examples in medieval history where two of them were people are more likely to know them out of a werewolf lore than they are to know in actual history.
Right, or Dracula.
It's interesting because last month I was listening to this psychiatrist who does a lot of things on YouTube. And so she was I found the post and I posted it in the chat for you guys. Narcissist, psychopath, or sociopath, how to tell the difference. So,
Okay, see, there you go. We need to listen to this. You're
Yeah.
going to put this for the people to see, like, did I actually learn anything in college? And no, I'm not going to divulge where I went to school. They would be ashamed of me if I'm wrong.
so this is at a web site called Med Circle,
Okay, let's
and it's
see.
by a gal named what's her name? Ramani Durvasula.
I think she has
Yeah.
is she the YouTube channel where you were watching it?
Yeah.
I think
And
she talks
here's
a lot
another
about
one.
it.
Signs that you're dating a narcissist and 4 types of narcissism and the hidden
Yes.
signs of gaslighting. I love her various here's another one. Narcissism versus borderline personality disorder. 9 traits of
Yeah.
borderline personality disorder. Part of it is, you like the sound of some people's voices.
Yeah.
And I also like how she's very straightforward and clinical in her descriptions of things. So,
Yeah. I definitely know narcissists. In the past, I've been very attracted to them. And I had to figure out why. I think I actually know which YouTube therapist or psychiatrist you're talking about. I think I've actually watched some of her videos before and been like, oh my God.
so apparently we've been extremely self-indulgent this week because we went from talking about gossip rags and Hollywood and narcissism and sociopaths.
Well, you
never know what
out.
topic you'll end up here at Epic Sketch Time. And I want to thank Katie and I want to thank Bill for joining me this week.
Oh, it's 5:30. Okay.
It's getting close. I thought we'd take this time to
wrap it up.
Katie, best of luck to you guys at post lots of photos on Facebook. That makes me happy. Oh, I do have one question. When you're mixing up your acrylics,
yes,
do you spend a lot of time prepping your paint ahead of time, or are you just squeezing it out of the tube and using different brushes, or what's your methodology?
Well, I usually just use different brushes and squeeze it out of the tube because I've found that I waste a lot less paint. It just depends on how big of what I'm going to be painting. Like this is so small, I'm just squeezing it out as I go because I'm kind of eyeballing it, so that that's always helpful.
Because I know you've done some big swashes of color before, and I find that I have to prep a lot of paint because it dries so quickly.
Yep.
And if you want to have a nice good field, you can't just say, oh, this is the right amount of color and only have a thimbleful. You need to have half a cup practically ready to go if you're going to be covering a broad space or doing something like a nice blend.
Yeah. Have you seen my little I got this at Ben Franklin. It's like a medicine pan. And when I'm doing something big, I will put it on here because I can use the way bigger brushes, like if I'm doing a background or whatever. It's a nice little pan. It looks old fashioned, but it's brand new. And it works really well. And then now I just put saran wrap on it, so I don't have to wash it every time. I can just take the saran wrap off and go about my business.
And just toss it. That's an excellent idea. Thanks for
Yeah.
that tip.
But yeah, no, that's it. And this will look, yeah, I'll have this done. I just you can ask Tim. I don't believe I have ADHD, but then he points out all the things that I do that are argue for that I have it, and then I have to get mad at him. But yeah, I need to be packaging art right now, but I have a burning desire to finish this piece of art for someone that I'm going to see in like 3 days. But I also know I'm going to take people like to see me draw there, and I know that's like a no. I know we got to get off here, but I know that's kind of like a no-no when you look at YouTube videos on people talking about selling and stuff and not engaging.
Yeah,
But
you want to
found
engage.
I found a lot of people really like watching me draw. And so I actually do take some markers and I will draw while I'm there as well. And then I sell the drawings and people will come back sometimes and they'll buy them. Like
Well,
as
if that engages you with the audience, that's one thing. But if you're just hiding and head down into a sketchbook and ignoring people rather than doing a pitch to lure them over to your table, I think that's really what they're talking about. They're not talking about people coming over saying, oh, well, she's painting. I wonder what she's painting, and then talking to you while you're painting. I think that's different.
yeah, probably so. But yeah, so I'll be taking some painting, some art supplies with me to do then. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know next week, hopefully. And hopefully I'll get it come in on the right date and time, because I missed last week because I was so preoccupied. And then I came in yesterday and no one was here because it was Monday. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, best of luck. Talk to you next week.